August. I really kind of just went for it. I started talking to by you. I started building a team in May. I had, actually to begin with, and I had 3 working.
Hey, Katrina.
Promote by August.
Katrina.
Yes.
Am I the only one that's getting breakup from her, or can y'all hear her?
I'm getting breakup.
Okay. Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh no. Not. Let me see if I can join from my phone.
Okay.
Let me see if I can join from my phone. Let me see if it'll join from my.
Thank you. It's usually how Rebecca talks when we make fun of her, because it sounds like she's a robot. So Rebecca, you're not alone.
That was just one time.
No, it's every time. That's okay. So it makes you Rebecca. So while we're waiting on her, who has had luck, or I shouldn't say luck because then you have people joining, but who has been able to talk to people about the $20 special? No? Like not even mention it to anybody?
I've helped
You mean
Kayla.
verbally?
You helped Kayla, Jessica?
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody else said something else. Katrina, are you okay?
Is this better?
Much.
Okay. I was like, I'm gonna try my computer, but for some reason my home internet is not working today. I have no idea why.
Oh, that's okay. All right, sorry.
But
So
I
start
can't
over.
see anybody this way, except for you. Okay, I'll start over. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I can see like 2 people. So, okay. So, I don't know how many people here have joined with the $20 kit this month. Do you have people here who joined with the $20 kit? Yes. Okay. I joined with the $20 kit May 3rd of last year. And I was actually moving into a new house, and I just figured, you know what? I'm going to get some Scentsy at a discounted price, right? Why not? I started talking to coworkers about it. I started my launch immediately. And I created a group, started with like 20 members in my group. It was really small. I was able to hit, 2,000 in sales just from word of mouth. I just told my coworkers. I really talked about it a lot that first week, and I was able to hit sensational start level 3. I had 3 coworkers join. So really it just started with my coworkers. I was just talking about really this great opportunity, and I hit director in August with a team of 11. So, that's June, July, 3 months in. And I was like, okay, this is going somewhere, right? And then I started really every single time I had anybody join my team, I immediately had them start a party for themselves. And that was, the first thing. Okay, let's get a party started for you, start a launch party. And then I immediately told them about the free host kit opportunity, which I found out about in July. I didn't know when I first started. But I'm sure, do you guys all know about the free host kit opportunity? Yes, cool. So I told them immediately, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. Whenever you have a party, make sure that you're asking people, if they want to join with a discounted kit, with a free kit. I made sure that if I was ever at a $500 party, somebody was joining.
We do have 1 or 2 new people on here. So if you just want to touch on it briefly of what that is.
Yeah. So I always, with personal orders, especially if you have a $500 party, you can enter your host kit for $59. And if you're at a $500 party, you get $75 in free credit. So that unlocks your kit for free with no money out of pocket for them. So I always say, anybody want to join Scentsy for no out of pocket cost? And I share it on all social media outlets. I share it at work. I let people know. I tell all my friends, and I've shared it on Marketplace. I mean, really just, I say, hey, it's no out of pocket cost. There's no penalty, anything. And then I think that's enough. I don't want to overwhelm you with the host kit thing because it's confusing. So, but I create videos and I walk every new teammate through the process of signing somebody up with the free kit, because that has been a game changer in every way. Everybody that I've had join that has sold has got a teammate with that. I have had some people join though with the free kit with no intention of doing anything. And it's about a 50-50. And I tell my team, don't get discouraged if somebody joins, and takes the free kit and doesn't sell. I just say, that's their loss. Yes, it was $59 of free credit I could have used, but I would be nowhere without those free kits. So, when I was first told about it, she told me, hey, it's about 4 out of 7. And I said, okay, 4 is better than none. So, it is discouraging when somebody takes a free kit and then doesn't sell it all, but really don't let it get you down, because I promise the good outweighs the bad. So anyway, with the free kit. So yeah. And then I had a team of about 40 in November, and I was able to earn the incentive level 4. And I was kind of shocked, all with $20, right? And then I earned the annual sales and annual mentor. So, and I've had 45,000 in sales to date. And so, and I'm telling you, I joined with, intentions of just hitting active. It was like, okay, I could probably hit 200 every few months, but no, it is so, people love Scentsy. I've been able to sell a lot more, and it just took a little spark in me, and I haven't stopped since. I now have a team of 128 after 1 year. And with the keep growing incentive, I'm currently in the top 50. So, you can do it too. And like I said, I just figured, why not spend $20 on a warmer, and it really, I had a coworker join too with the $20 kit, and she is also has earned level 2 of the incentive. She earned level 1 of the Disney World incentive, and she's doing the same thing, so it's just kind of cool to see how far you can go with, $20. But I want to know, does anybody, are there any specific questions or anything that I can help with, or any?
So can you kind of tell us, one, how did you do your launch party, and how do you do, I assume, your frontline, or if you help your downlines launch parties? And then what has kind of, I know you said a lot of it was word of mouth, but has there been any additional ways that you have went about gaining a bigger customer base? Because I think that that's one thing everybody struggles with, is your friends and family and coworkers buy from you for a little while, but then the expansion past that.
Yeah. So with that, I have actually reached out to other retailers of like different companies. I've been in LuLaRoe groups and Color Street, and I just reach out to them, actually just personal message, and say, hey, would you be willing to do a joint giveaway on my, so their members join my group and my members join their group, and I donate something, they donate something, and so that's been huge. and getting more members. And some say no and some say yes. I just take the plunge and just say, hey, like, would you be willing to do this? And most do. And I've done probably about 15 of those. And then also every party I have, I keep them on my mailing list and I do samples to them. So if they've ordered from a party, and I have gained a lot of loyal customers from that, that I didn't have. I always try to have at least 2 to 3 parties. After somebody hosted a party about 4 months later, I reach out to them again and say, hey, it's been a while. Would you like to host again? So that's another way I maintain the customers from that party as well. I think that's, and then talking about, I'm trying to remember all the questions you had. But yeah, so I just, maintain monthly, sometimes bi-weekly contact with all the customers I've had. Even if they haven't ordered since November, I still, send out emails and I'll send out samples. I usually send at least 50 samples a month. And I do get a few orders from it. Not all of them order, but I do get a few and they all enjoy having the samples. So I would definitely say samples are worth it. And then as far as new teammates, I have one party. I have my launch party and I still invite them to it. And so that they can see the post I did. So I kind of have a model launch party. And that way they can see the different posts and they can get ideas and help them be successful in their launch party. I also, give them little tips, do games, do a giveaway to help build the interaction in their launch party. And that helps them with starting up, and we get their launch party started immediately. And I have them create a Facebook group, and some of them, I give them the option if they want me to be invited to it to help them. They do. And some of them, choose to do it on their own, but I always, keep that door open that if they want me to be invited to the launch party and help and post with them, then I do that. I've also had some teammates who have joined from a party. They hosted a party for me, actually quite a few. They hosted a party for me and it turned into their launch party. So I always, whenever I have somebody hosting a party, I say, so you have 2 options. You can use your host credit to get this kit. You get so much Scentsy, you get more than $59 worth. So it's totally worth it. No commitment to sell. And then you still have, 3 half-price products, or you can use $75 free product and 3 half-price products. And so that I'd say 80% of the time has got people to join. So I always, when I'm about to close their party, give them that option rather than just saying, hey, here are your hostess rewards. I say, hey, you have this option and why not make some money back on your purchases, And so usually that gets teammates as well. And then, like I said, their party turned into their launch party. And so it then ends up being their VIP group since they already had people who were initially interested, and then they build off from that.
All right, so we have some questions for her. I love all of this. It's really good information. You guys have to have some questions because I know that we all have the $20 join kit and you guys are, trying to build your teams and wanting to go further. Rebecca, of course.
Of course, they start barking now. So all your hosts, you don't throw the launch party, you don't set it up or anything like that. Not hosts, your new recruits. You just tell them they need to have a launch party and this is how you go about doing it.
Usually I start the conversation with them and I say, okay, next step, I have them watch the checklist videos and I say, okay, when you're done, we're going to create your launch party before you ever share your link with anybody. And so they create the launch party and then I kind of give them the option, do you feel comfortable with me creating the launch party with you? Or would you prefer to do it on your own? And I kind of leave it open. Usually they choose to have me involved in it because, I have more experience. And so it makes them, it eases them into it a little bit more. but I leave it open up to them to see what they prefer and what they're comfortable with. Some of them I know personally, some of them I don't. So, and it kind of just depends on what they like.
All right, anybody else have any questions? So I'm kind of curious while someone's like thinking of something. So would you say that partying has been the biggest way that you've grown your team, or has it been more just you being brave to talk to people in your circle and then kind of grow from there?
You say partying, like my parties?
Yeah.
I would say they are a part of it. I've had probably, I mean, I'd say 10 hosts have joined. I've signed up about 35 people this year myself. And so most of it come from, I would say, my own sales. Yeah. I average 2,500 to 3,000 in sales on my own each month. And so I make sure that I sign somebody up. I don't close a party unless somebody's signing up. I keep it open until somebody chooses to take a free kit. But I would say that my biggest gain personally has been my customers that join. Most of the people I have signed up have been past customers, really great customers, and they've turned into the best consultants. So I've reached out.
How do you kind of have that conversation with them to get them to join?
So I've reached out. I mean, I've done it in a few different ways. I usually just give personal stories on my VIP group, and then they're like, oh, let's talk a little more. Why not? I've also reached out to a few when we had the $20 join kit. I reached out to a few customers that frequently spend at least $100 a month. And I just said, hey, we have a $20 join kit available. No pressure or anything, but I was kind of thinking, since you spend $100 on Scentsy, you only need $200 one time out of a 12-month period. And I always bring up the holidays. I say, if you have no intentions of selling and you just want to make money back off of your own sales, would you spend $200 in the holidays? When you think about it, would you spend $200 in gifts? And a lot of them go, yeah, I could probably do that. And so I say that right there is worth it, because then you're going to be a consultant for a whole nother year, without ever having to sell to anybody. And most of the time when they join with no intentions of selling, they do sell, so it's like, it's kind of that easing into it, taking the leap, but not, thinking, okay, I'm not going to sell. I'll just make money off of my own purchases. But then when they start seeing and getting into it, then they do start selling. So they become, really great consultants. I had one of the customers that joined, she actually joined with a free kit in March, right when the incentive started. She was one of my really good customers, and she goes, oh, okay, well, we'll just see how it goes, as long as I can get 200. And so she's actually, she just hit Sensational Start level 3 the other day. So, she was a customer. She frequently bought, at least 100 every month. And it just took a conversation like, hey, I do have a free kit. There's no, no penalty, no requirement, no commitment, why not make some money back? And she was like, yeah, I could try that. Why not? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And so it's just, I would say the biggest thing has been taking the leap to just have the conversations with people. And usually, there have been a few that have been like, I'm too busy right now. And I just say, okay, I love having you as my customer, it's just, and say, I just felt like I wanted to share this opportunity with you, but no pressure. It's totally okay if you don't, so. Yeah.
All right. Anybody have some questions? Miss,
I do. So question, so when you are giving them the free kits, are you offering to flip that party?
I do not. I don't flip the party unless it was their party that they were hosting.
Okay.
If they were hosting a party, I do offer to flip the sales to them. But if it was my personal party and I'm just giving them the free kit, I do not flip the sales. Sometimes I have had hosts join, and that's kind of a way to ease into it and let them feel it out without being a consultant yet. I had a coworker who joined and wanted to host a party with intention of becoming a consultant. So she was like, let's throw a party, see if I can earn a free kit, see how this goes. And then if I don't want to sell, then I don't, I just get the rewards. So she hosted a party, got to 500, and I flipped the sales for her because we had talked about it. She had intentions of selling. And so it was kind of just like, let's see how it goes, but I don't have to commit yet, so she wanted to, but she didn't want to commit. So we kind of started the party knowing I would flip the sales as long as she decided to sign up. So I guess it just depends on the situation.
So I'm curious, do you do more Facebook parties than anything else? And how long do you run your Facebook parties?
Yeah, I've actually never had an in-home party. I do have a couple of teammates that have had in-home parties, but I joined after COVID, and so I haven't had any home parties. I haven't done vendor events or anything yet. So it's been all Facebook. I usually run them for a week, and I use Bizly. You guys know of Bizly? Rachel, I'm assuming you do. Yeah.
Most of us
Yeah.
do, and the ones that are new will be trained on it.
Yeah, I use Bizly, and I run it for a week. I usually use a week template. So
I would love to see your template.
I would say my most successful parties were definitely in the holidays, by far, but usually they get to at least 200 when I have a host. And if not, I always leave it open for them and I put my own sales on it. So that way it makes them more likely to host later. As long as they get a few, about 100 in sales, I then leave it open and add my own customer orders to it.
Have you had
When
a
I have, like, a
party
local one.
completely flop on Facebook?
I have had a few parties completely flop. And I usually just send them a little gift. As long as they tried, they invited people, and if people just weren't into it, I usually send them a gift as a thank you. So then they still feel like, hey, I got something out of this, and so it wasn't like, totally for nothing for them. I usually will send them like a scent bar, a room spray, a scent circle, or something like that.
I have a
And a big
question.
thing. Oh, yes.
So with your Bizly parties, do you check in on them regularly, or do you just set it up, set everything, schedule everything, and then go? Or do you check back and interact with so many of your parties or whatever? How do you do that? And do you go live at all in your parties?
I have actually never gone live on Facebook. I've considered it and I've thought about it, and I'm going to start. I have not gone live yet. But yes, I do check in daily on my parties. I interact every time somebody comments. And that kind of goes hand in hand with my VIP group. I post about 3 times a day in my VIP group. I would say most of my sales come from my VIP group. I do have the parties trickled in there, but I would say most of my sales come from my VIP group and my customers adding customers. I work really hard on customer relationships, and I send, I do gifts often, to give back, and I'll do like a $5 coffee card for interaction on my VIP group. But I definitely post 3 times a day on my VIP group at least, and I interact every time somebody comments. I would say it's about 25 to 75 sales and interaction. I only do about 25% sales and 75% interaction. So that way my group isn't totally salesy. And I actually have had people come up to me and say, hey, I really like that your group isn't just all about selling. Like, I really think the games are fun. And, I had one of my coworkers came out to me. I'm a teacher. So, there's a lot. I have a lot of teachers come talk to me and stuff, and they say, yeah, I used to sell, this product, and my VIP group was never that interactive. How do you do it? And, she goes, I usually don't stay in direct sales groups, but this one I don't think I'll get out of, because I like, the fun little interactive posts and stuff. So I make sure that I post interactive posts every day. I know, I'm sorry, I'm totally going off on a tangent here from the question.
No, I think we all love getting that kind of, I mean, it's like all the things that you've had an amazing journey in just a year's time frame. Like you've even hit milestones that I haven't even hit yet. And I've been in for going on 3 years this fall. So just to hear like the little bits that people do to make their business successful, it all kind of ties together.
Yeah. Hopefully it's helpful. And I was going to add on in my VIP group, another thing that I've done because I'm a teacher and I'm doing my master's and I'm a coach too in the spring. I realized I'm going to be really busy and I'm not going to be able to post as much as I'd like to or be as present in my VIP group. And so I actually added a few moderators, which has been super successful. As you guys probably know, Facebook hides a lot of posts, and I have a VIP group of 1,000, but only 200 see it. So it's made it hard, and I struggle with how can I get more people to see it without just constantly doing giveaway posts, because that's what people interact on the most. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna post and see if anybody wants to moderate for me. I kind of took ideas from other direct sales company groups that I'm in and noticed they had moderators. So I asked, and just said, is anybody interested? And I did have a few customers. And I just made sure when I decided that they were customers, they didn't just join the group for giveaways. They have been past customers. And I knew that they would interact and be able to review the products and stuff, So I picked 4. And what I do in return, they post at least a couple times a week. I didn't make the guidelines, very direct. I just said post a couple times a week and interact as much as you can. So they interact, with people's comments and stuff too. So people are having conversations and, I'll post, Taco Tuesday, are you having tacos tonight or something, and they comment and they'll be like, oh, that sounds great. What's the recipe for that? And they start having conversations. So it's not just always me. And so it feels more of like a community. And in return, I give them a scent bar of the month before it comes out. Cause I do the, the scent of the month kit. And so I get 9 bars. And so I figured I can give 4. I'm getting them at a discounted rate anyway. They get the perk of getting it before anybody else. And they love that, so I send them a scent bar of the month, and I usually send another small product like a scent circle. I've done dryer discs. I've done different things. I did dryer discs so that hopefully they would review them and others would want to try them. And so I usually do a small product and then the scent of the month. And sometimes I'll throw in like a little tea bag or, something. Yeah, I just make it a cute little package and they love it. And so it's a small fee I pay for having 4 people interacting constantly in my group for me. So when I was very busy, they were constantly there. And I haven't really had to, remind them or anything. They're just on top of it. And it's really great. And they start interaction posts. Sometimes they do post sales posts too. And I've gotten sales from, their posts they make. So it's kind of cool. It just makes it feel more of a community than just constantly me posting, so.
Oh, I love that. I've got a strong VIP group, but it's the same people interacting, and we haven't quite got to that point where people are like swapping a ton. And then I have a horrible track record of like keeping track of what gifts and awards that I'm giving away. I'm like, it's all there. So no, I really like that. Yeah, does anybody have some more questions? I want to make sure like if there is one that we don't miss anybody. I think a lot of everybody on here is definitely wanting to grow their team. So I definitely wanted to kind of like make sure that we touch base on how you grew so fast, so quickly. And I guess from what it sounds like, it was just being brave and putting yourself out there. And partying a ton. About how many parties a month do you think that you have?
In the holidays, I definitely had probably 5. Currently, it's slowed down, and I shoot for at least 2. Okay. But I would say I average 3.
Okay. So partying, word of mouth. Do you do a referral program for you to grow your VIP group?
Sometimes I'll do like add somebody to the group, and then when we get to a certain amount, I'll give away something. And so
Okay.
that's more of what I do. I did do like a coffee giveaway, and I said, add a friend to the group, tag them, and I'll give 2 friends coffee once we hit 800 members or something, you know, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, Misty, you got a question? Your hand was raised for the school teacher.
Well, I didn't want to be rude and interrupt you while you were talking. So how would you say, before you had moderators, how are you managing between being a teacher and a coach and being able to do all the things and not lose your mind?
And I'm a mom of 2 little ones. So let's just add on to that. No, I was losing my mind. And that's, you know, that's what actually got me to the point where I was like, I know that this is going to be too much for me. I just know it. And so I just realized that I'm going to need help. I'm not going to be able to, you know, to keep up with it. And I figured, let's just see if anybody's interested, you know, and I did have a lot of interest in it because I was like, I'll give you something, you know, in return. And I had a lot of interest. And another thing that happened with the moderators is they order more now that they're moderators. They order a lot more frequently than they did. And I've had them moderating for 3 months now, because right when I started my tennis season, I was like, I'm just going to be super busy. There's no way that I can interact like I want to. And I want to keep the engagement up in my group. And if I stopped for multiple days, the engagement would just go down like crazy. You know, if I'm not there, I didn't want them to forget about me, you know? So I was like, I know that my goal is to always be active in my group every day, no matter what. And I know I'm not going to be able to. So I had to just problem solve and come up with a solution. Like, how can I fix this? And like I said, there were 4 that have all purchased from me. And I figured, you know, these will probably be, and they were active in the group. I didn't choose any that hadn't been active in the group. These ones, you know, often commented, some of them even posted on their own. And actually have some that aren't moderators that choose to post as well because they see others posting. And so I have like 3 or 4 that also post that aren't moderators that just choose to post. And what I do for them is sometimes I'll send them a little gift from Amazon. Like I did, one of them, I did like a bag of Skittles, and I just said, it's sweet to have customers like you, you know, and she actually had never purchased from me. Or I said, I think I said, it's sweet to have supporters like you, because she never purchased from me, but she always commented, she posted, she was very active in the group, and she actually pre-ordered the baby Yoda warmer. So she'd never purchased from me. She's been in my group since like last July. But I comment, I interact with her, and it just shows that maybe if they're not purchasing right now, they will when they can, you know. And so she was there, she was present, she, you know, built a customer relationship with me, and she purchased when she could, you know. And so it just kind of shows that the little things you do really count, you know. So but yeah, having the moderators have been a huge game changer for my group. I'm reaching so many more, you know, members than I was prior. Just having all of, you know, the engaging, it's been huge in my group.
So do you have any systems in place that you utilize, because you've had so many people join, probably a lot of them joining at the same time? Do you have systems that you use to kind of be able to handle all the parties going on, making sure that they're getting all that beginning information and not lose your mind as you're teaching and raising kids?
I guess the biggest thing I do, you know, I have our group. I have like a team page. As soon as I had like 5 people on my team, I created a group page. I know some of my teammates that have a smaller team, but do have a team, have a group messenger on Facebook, that's how they reach all their team. And I really just, I build my front lines knowledge, and then they build their team's knowledge. And so I just make sure that my front line know everything that they can know. And they all come to me with questions still. I don't really have a specific training, you know, guidelines set in place other than just our group. And I just, like I said, as soon as they join, I have them do the checklist. We do their launch party, and I talk about the free kit. That's like the biggest thing that I talk about. And another thing, I really highlight the sensational starts and how much easier they become to earn when you have a teammate. Because then they're like, oh yeah, I could totally earn that. And that's when they want to start building their team, is when you really start highlighting the sensational starts. And so I really talk about, like I said, the checklist, the launch party, the free kit, and the sensational starts. That's what I start with them.
Okay. I love it.
and I also, I make sure that, if somebody joins, I go through who they joined and I say, hey, will you put me in a group chat with them too? And then I always make sure I make some sort of contact with everybody on my team. It's growing like crazy. When you start getting more numbers, it grows pretty exponentially. But I do make sure that every single person on my team knows about the free kit, because like I said, it's been totally game changing for everybody. And so
I love it. Guys, her hitting director in 3 months is amazing, especially with 11 people. That's crazy. I mean, literally that's $13,000 in a month between 11 people. So
yeah, it was we went pretty hard.
yeah, that is kudos to you guys. So, I mean, I wanted her to come on so that you guys can see kind of like her process, how she just like dove right in and went for it. And it's really just the consistency, the partying, like all the things that we kind of tell you guys all the time. And I know some people kind of think, well, it's just luck and it's who you meet and, life's crazy and that type of thing. And it really is just like diving in and talking to everyone that you possibly can meet. At least that's how I feel. I don't know, Katrina, if you agree with me or not, but
yeah, I mean, I had sold with a direct sales company prior, and I did vendor events, and it never, took off like this. I think it also depends on if you have a passion, for it. And I really love Scentsy, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And, I think that took part in it too. I really went for it because I saw, friends and family supporting me, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And then it started becoming, I would say 85% of my customers at this point, I do not know personally. And I would say same with my team, probably a similar percentage. I do not know personally, but it's just because it becomes a chain. I had a family friend who then had a party who invited other people. Another thing, I always include my VIP group in any of my parties so people can join. I don't think I said that. I always make sure that there's a link and I say, hey, join my group for different giveaways and deals all the time, stuff like that. And they join. And so that's another way that I've gained more customers, is just through, it becomes a chain of, and then they tell people, and then they tell people, and then they tell people. Another thing I would say is when anybody orders, send a thank you card, especially if it was like a website order. I have had some random orders from my town that I don't know. And I usually email them and just say, hey, thank you for your order. Is there anything, I could help you with? Or, and they usually respond and I say, I'm going to send you something in the mail, as a thank you from me. And they've become customers now. It was just a random, they just clicked a consultant, but because I made contact with them, I send them a thank you card. I show them, that I appreciate it. They have become customers from that too. So always send thank you cards.
yes. Great. Well, thank you so much, Katrina, for coming on.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to your team next month, and hopefully, somebody got some good information tonight. I mean, I know that they did, but I did. I've got notes written down here of things that I want to try myself. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I know you have little ones waiting on you, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. So thank you.
Thank you. If you have more questions or, I'm always here.
I do want that Busily code.
Yes, I have a few I'll give you.
Yay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good night.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
All right, guys. Did anybody have anything that they wanted to say? Now I'll stop recording. So if you guys want to